Good afternoon. Buenas tardes. Welcome. I am Oscar Dubon, and I am honored to serve as Faculty Marshal for the College of Engineering's Class of 2023 Baccalaureate Degree Commencement. We are thrilled to celebrate this special day with you at the Greek Theater. Today's ceremony is being webcast. If you would like to share the address with family and friends, the link is engineering.berkeley.edu/BEgrad. To everyone who has already tuned in, welcome. We have invited members of the University Student Singing Group, The Cadence, to sing the national anthem to begin the ceremony. I now invite everyone to please stand as you are able.
One, two, three, 1, 2. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
All right. Thank you so much. Please be seated. This afternoon's commencement celebration is devoted entirely to our bachelor's degree candidates. In front of us are over 900 beautiful, amazing, brilliant individuals who have earned a degree from Berkeley Engineering. UC Berkeley is recognized as a world leader in education and research with more top-ranked programs than any other public university. The programs in the College of Engineering are no exception. We have a great ceremony planned this afternoon, and we ask that everyone please stay for the entire event out of respect for all of our candidates. To offer the first of what will be many congratulations to our candidates, I am pleased to present Tsu-Jae King Liu, our extraordinary Dean of College of Engineering. Please welcome Dean Liu.
Good afternoon, graduates. On behalf of the faculty and staff in the college, welcome to Berkeley Engineering's 2023 Baccalaureate Commencement. It is both an honor and joy for us to celebrate your milestone achievement together with you and your family and friends, whether they're here in the stands or watching remotely. Your student experience here at Berkeley has been transformative, preparing you for success in the next stage of your life, whether you will be embarking on a career or pursuing graduate study. It has been our privilege to help you develop into engineering leaders. While progressing through our rigorous engineering program, you've overcome many extraordinary challenges and circumstances outside of the classroom, including the pandemic, natural disasters, and societal and political upheavals. These experiences also have helped to prepare you to tackle complex problems of our time. You know, engineers are known as doers. We are regularly called upon to use our knowledge and skills to solve problems and to innovate new solutions. As Berkeley engineers, you also carry with you the ethos of our public university, to serve the greater good. We've seen how those with the fewest resources to cope are disproportionately affected by the challenges I mentioned earlier. And we learned the importance of community for supporting our well-being as well as our academic success. Berkeley engineers should lead not only with technical acumen and entrepreneurial know-how, but also with empathy and compassion. These are keys to individual and community well-being. I look forward to seeing all you will accomplish as inclusive leaders who create new knowledge equitably for the benefit of our diverse society. As you innovate new technologies and products, be sure to seek out and include perspectives and ideas of a diversity of people to maximize your collective success. You are now joining an incredibly accomplished community of over 73,000 Berkeley engineering alumni located around the world. I have no doubt that you will make us proud. Congratulations, and go Bears! I now have the honor of introducing our exceptional student commencement speaker, Sharika Zucchi. Sharika majored in bioengineering and minored in public policy. She grew up in India, and she recalls watching renowned Berkeley neuroscientist Marian Diamond give lectures on YouTube. Those videos helped draw her to Berkeley. At Berkeley, Sharika continued to pursue her interest in health, earning multiple honors for her work, including health tech and honors fellowships from the Fung Institute for Engineering Leadership. She maintained awareness on current world affairs as a member of UC Berkeley's Model UN debate team, where she was a director, traveling to competitions across the country. In her position as the advocacy director for the Society of Women Engineers, Sharika served as the Berkeley representative at the Society's 2021 and 2023 National Congressional Outreach Program, meeting with legislators and their representatives to discuss policies that support diversity in STEM fields. Sharika also took advantage of Berkeley's undergraduate research opportunities by studying the use of microfluidic devices in cancer diagnostics in the lab of mechanical engineering professor Lydia Sohn. She plans to apply these diagnostic technologies to help overburdened medical delivery systems around the world, including in her home country of India. It's an area she intends to pursue as a graduate student at Columbia University, where she'll be supported by a prestigious Quad Fellowship, a program awarded on behalf of the government of India in partnership with the United States, Japan, and Australia. Please join me in welcoming Sharika Zucchi as our student commencement speaker.
Thank you so much for that warm welcome, and thank you so much, Dean Liu, for that incredible introduction. So, good morning to all the very proud family members, friends, and esteemed faculty members present here today. First of all, I want to congratulate the incredibly talented and brilliant graduating class of 2023. We've done it, folks. From this day forward, we will no longer be just students at Kresge Library hoping to get our assignments done by 11:59 p.m., no later than that. But we are Berkeley engineers, a title that encompasses our extraordinary time at the world's #1 public university. Of course, I say the word extraordinary in its most literal sense. Our journey has been an unusual but remarkable one. By my count, we've battled all 4 elements: earth, fire, air, and water, while facing earthquakes, forest fires, smog, and floods. But wait, there is more. As a collective, we have succeeded in this academic journey against the odds of global pandemics, international conflicts, societal disruptions, power outages, and continued uncertainty about what the future looks like, which I would say is the most notorious of them all. The fact that we sit here together today in this space is proof that we have succeeded in our journeys despite being confronted by what feels like almost everything, everywhere, all at once. That's original. As we rejoice and celebrate this incredible achievement, it is also important for us to reflect on what these 4 years meant to us. In my time here, the most fascinating scientific concept that I have come across is entropy. For those who may not be so familiar with this concept, entropy is a physical quantity in thermodynamics, yeah, I know, typical, that is most commonly associated with a state of disorder or randomness. Today, I want to use this concept as a metaphor for what this milestone means to us. A lot of people associate randomness with chaos or disarray, but I have to disagree. Entropy represents one of the most fundamental truths in the universe, the fact that change is constant. Entropy describes all the possible iterations of a given environment, which is analogous to the multitude of different possibilities presented to us when we entered this college. All those different opportunities, coupled with our incredible work ethic, has created this amazing class of individuals sitting here today. Our experiences make us different enough to be revolutionary, remarkable, and resolute. We can make sense of the chaos that is constant change. The entropy of our system may have been high, but it has given us the strength to make our mark on this world. Together, we will impact industries ranging from renewable energy to healthcare technology, from cybersecurity to advanced robotics. We will become scientists and researchers that will expand the fundamentals of knowledge. We will become professionals that will push boundaries and break glass ceilings in the workplace. We will become builders, creating technologies that elevate the human condition. We will become designers that will push the limits of human-centered design. And most importantly, we will become inventors that will forge the path to the future. As engineers, we will use approximations and models to make solutions that help the people around us. But what makes a Berkeley graduate unique is doing all of that with a passion for public service. Like many of us here today, Berkeley was a true dream come true for me. Having the opportunity to study at the same institution as several Nobel Prize and Turing Award winners, members of Congress, and social activists is a gift that I will cherish forever. One of the first questions I was asked when I was entering biomedicine was the age-old question. Do you plan on curing cancer, or what's the goal? And I feel like a lot of people in the bioengineering department are nodding their heads because we've been asked that before. In November 2020, I flew to India at the height of the pandemic to take care of my grandmother, who was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. And that is when my answer to that question changed. Initially, I did not see why my goal needs to be something so unlikely, so difficult, and so overbearing on the world. However, when my grandmother, who was a trailblazer and visionary who shaped who I am today, suffered from the horrible disease called cancer, I realized the value of this work, and maybe dreaming big was important. Watching the woman I admired the most deteriorate under the burden of this incurable disease was one of the most challenging experiences of my life. Due to the pandemic and an overburdened medical system, she could not get the appropriate care she needed and eventually succumbed to the disease. That was a turning point for me. I knew that my grief was not just my own, but it was shared by many others who have lost loved ones to this disease and many such diseases. My emotion drove me to action, and I changed my career trajectory from wanting to become a professor of bio-inspired design to creating healthcare technology that gives people the care they need, but most importantly, the care they deserve. I have found what drives me, and because of the education and support I have gained at Berkeley, I am now going to dream big. So if someone asks me today, do you plan on curing cancer? I might be inclined to say, I hope so, because that is the dream. And I know that as my grandmother looks down on me today from heaven, she is glad that her fight to stay in the classroom has allowed her granddaughters to stand here during the commencement ceremony of the world's top engineering institution to make such a proclamation. Today, we are engineers, but we are also the product of the love of our families and friends, the support of our communities, and the struggles of our predecessors. As one of the most multifaceted and multicultural graduating classes of the Berkeley College of Engineering, we stand in the shoes of those who came before us, and we make space for those who come after. Now, we move on to the future, which can be pretty intimidating. But to quote my biggest inspiration, Dr. Marie Curie, nothing is to be feared, it is only to be understood. We will eventually find order in the disorder that is our chaotic world, and we will find our purpose if we haven't already done so. Growth is not linear. It is a winding path of trials and tribulation with dispersed landmarks such as this one, marking the beginning of a new chapter. Today is a landmark that leads to the next chapter in our lives as change makers, game changers, and groundbreakers. And this is a chapter that I cannot wait to start reading. Once again, congratulations to the class of 2023, and thank you so much for your time. See you on the other side.
Thank you so much, Sharika, for sharing your story and your inspiring words of wisdom. We wish you all the best and hope your dream comes true sooner rather than later. All right, now I'm delighted to introduce our keynote speaker, David Gilboa, a Berkeley engineering alum who exemplifies the value of positive social impact. Dave is the co-founder and co-CEO of eyewear firm Warby Parker, named the most innovative company in the world by Fast Company in 2015. He and his co-founders made it a stated goal to show that a business can scale, be profitable, and do good in the world. The company's origin story goes back to when Dave lost a pair of expensive eyeglasses while backpacking. It was a moment that highlighted the high cost of an essential item hundreds of millions of people need. The idea of Warby Parker was born. For every pair of eyeglasses purchased, the company gives a pair of glasses to someone in need. To date, 13 million pairs have been given away to underserved populations. Dave was born in Sweden and raised in San Diego. He came to UC Berkeley as an undergraduate, earning his Bachelor of Science degree in bioengineering with honors in 2003. He went on to earn an MBA from the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania. Before he established Warby Parker, Dave worked at an investment bank, Allen & Company, and then at a management consulting firm, Bain & Company. He has extensive experience with nonprofit organizations and served as a founding member of the Entrepreneur Board of Venture for America, which is an organization dedicated to mobilizing graduates as entrepreneurs in low-cost cities. Along the way, Dave has garnered numerous awards and accolades. he still manages to find time to seek adventures, such as trekking across Antarctica. He is also the fastest person to run the New York City Marathon in a flamingo costume. And in case you're wondering, the time clocked was an impressive 3 hours and 18 seconds. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, David Gilboa.
Thank you, Dean Liu, for the very warm welcome. And it's just a tremendous honor to be on stage here today. It was exactly 20 years ago that I was sitting in your very seats in the same theater at my own graduation, contemplating life's biggest questions, like how much dinner would cost in the real world when La Burrita and Top Dog were no longer available for every meal. The graduating class of 2023 is marked by extra significance. Not only did you persevere through a once-in-a-century pandemic, but you will also forever be known as the last students who actually did their own work before ChatGPT launched. Next year's commencement speaker will be up here just talking to one giant computer, so it's nice for me to see so many beautiful faces in the crowd today. Graduates, you've worked hard, you've studied, you've learned, you've achieved and overachieved, and today it's time to celebrate, because now you can finally stop learning. As of today, you never have to learn again. Of course, I'm kidding. The ceremony is called commencement, which means beginning for a reason. Today doesn't demarcate an ending, but rather a new chapter in your path to learn and grow. Except starting today, your learning will be self-directed. The problems you encounter won't be structured. You won't have the luxury of syllabi, textbooks, or professors to guide you through assignments to pace your learning. You'll be in charge of your own education for the rest of your life. And as graduates of one of the best universities on the planet, your options will be plentiful. I'm here today not to encourage you all to choose wisely. You're far too young to have wisdom after all. But instead, to challenge you to choose boldly, to create your own luck, and to choose something that matters. The path of least resistance for most of you will be to pursue career opportunities that have relatively low risk and provide relatively good rewards. Going to well-known firms with prestigious titles, decent pay, and a feeling of continued advancement. This is the comfortable path, the one that will make your parents proud, the path along which you will advance up the rungs of achievement like you have been until now, making your resume incrementally more impressive year after year. But in doing so, you may find yourself climbing a hill to a local maxima with blinders on, unaware of the much bigger and more interesting mountains beyond the horizon. To do something really impactful, to do something that bends the future, you have to take risks. You have to take paths that are less trodden. You have to zig when others zag. My grandmother passed away earlier this year. She was about to turn 99, mind sharp as a tack, even in her last days. She had a tough upbringing. When she was 14, both her parents died within a few weeks of each other, and shortly thereafter, the rest of her family was killed in the Holocaust. She barely survived herself, spending time at Auschwitz and Bergen-Belsen before being rescued as a refugee. When I asked her what lessons she learned in life, since living for nearly a century and overcoming such hardship did qualify her to prefer bona fide wisdom, she said, "The most important thing in life is to be lucky." While that may not immediately come across as actionable advice, what I've come to appreciate is that luck is not evenly distributed. Sure, there's truth to the old adages, fortune favors the prepared mind, and good luck comes to those who work hard. But I'm not here to tell you today to work hard. Your diplomas signify that you already know how to do this. I found in my own post-Berkeley life and in observation that luck comes to those who take unconventional paths, to those who explore the world, to those who increase the serendipitous collisions they have in life. And now is the segment in your life where you have the time and space to be explorers. Don't let it go to waste. I didn't intend to start a business. I didn't grow up passionate about glasses or entrepreneurship. My path was a lucky one, a happy accident. I can't claim I was a wild iconoclast when I was sitting in your seats graduating from Cal. I took the comfortable path, working as a strategy consultant and then on Wall Street. Both gave me the ego-stroking dopamine reinforcement that comes along with knowing you're in really coveted, hard-to-land positions. But I didn't want to be a consultant or work in finance. I viewed these as stepping stones to be able to ultimately reach my actual career and life goals one day. Then I realized I could be waiting around for that one day forever. So I quit my job, handed in my company-issued cell phone, and left to backpack around the world with no phone and no agenda other than to see the world and contemplate what I really wanted to do when I grew up. Over the next few months, I climbed volcanoes in Panama, lived in tree houses in Guatemala, floated down rivers in Laos, studied with monks in Cambodia, and made lifelong friends, staying in hostels with wanderers from around the globe. Midway through that trip, I lost my only pair of glasses. While on the surface, this may sound particularly unlucky, given that I could hardly see and still had a couple months left to travel. But in retrospect, the timing and frustration of this incident led to a string of fortuitous events. When I arrived back in the US, I had to buy two things: a new phone and a new pair of glasses. I went to the Apple store and bought an iPhone for $200. It was this magical device that did things I could not have imagined to be possible even a few years earlier. And then I realized my glasses were going to cost $700. This is technology that's been around for 800 years. Something didn't add up. So I started complaining to anyone who would listen. Shortly thereafter, I started business school. And it turned out that 3 of my new classmates and friends also had recent frustrating experiences as eyewear consumers. And that we all happened to meet just as e-commerce was starting to thrive and the concept of a brand being born online could first be imagined. We launched Warby Parker out of our apartments while we were full-time students, not long after we met. While life decisions don't have counterfactuals, I'm quite certain that I would have had a lot less impact and a lot less fun if I'd stayed in that prestigious job instead of venturing off to lands unknown, and that I'd still be searching for what I wanted to be when I grow up. Taking risks can be scary, but everything in life has risk, with the biggest one being not taking any risk at all. Life is not like chess, where there's no element of chance and only skill determines who wins and loses. It's much more like poker, where you never know what the next card will be, and a mix of skill and luck determine the results. In life and in poker, small bets and taking chances can have asymmetric outcomes. Chance encounters will alter your lives. Explore the world. Stay curious. Maintain your sense of wonder. See things that will astonish you and meet people who will inspire you. It's easier than ever to sit at home, to watch other people's stories and adventures instead of creating your own, to refresh online job listings instead of reaching out to a potential mentor, to read about places and immerse yourself in virtual reality instead of experiencing unique cultures. Unlucky people sit at home staring at their phones. Lucky people are out in the world exploring. Make deliberate choices to create your own luck, and when it comes your way, make sure you take advantage of it. So what prevents most people from making bold choices and increasing their luck-catching surface area? I believe it's 2 things. The first is inertia. It causes people to go on autopilot and stick to things that feel familiar, often for too long. When I arrived at Cal, I was obsessed with running, excited to walk onto the track and cross-country teams. While I wasn't the most naturally gifted runner, I tried to make up for my genetic deficiencies by training harder than anyone else. I was running well over 100 miles per week, often multiple times a day. Just as I arrived on campus, the inevitable happened. I got a stress fracture from overtraining. And as soon as I recovered from that stress fracture, I got another one, and then another. After realizing I wasn't going to be the next Steve Prefontaine, I finally gave up my running dream and the dozens of hours per week I was dedicating to it. While gut-wrenching at the time, in retrospect, I should have seen the writing on the wall much earlier. After I quit, I suddenly felt as though I had emerged from a tunnel with newfound freedom to explore the wonders that Cal had to offer, connecting with professors, entrepreneurs, and mentors who would later guide my startup journey. Sometimes it can be hard to see when you're in that tunnel. Our culture applauds perseverance and incremental achievement, but that also often leads people to stay on certain paths for far too long. Impact and success don't always come from sticking with things. They come from choosing the right thing to dedicate yourself to and being okay letting go of the rest. Our paths in life are rarely linear. No matter what choices you've already made, it's never too late to change direction. As the great philosopher Dolly Parton once said, "If you don't like the road you're walking on, start paving a new one." The second thing that prevents bold choices is other people's expectations and the judgment that comes along with it. My first job after Cal was as a consultant at Bain. I transferred to their Stockholm office, and when I moved there, it was the first time in my life I'd ever lived alone, previously going from a triple and Clark Kerr to houses with lots of roommates. So I did what I imagined all people who lived alone did: walked around my apartment naked. Not for any particular reason other than I'd never had the chance to do it before. A couple weeks into my stay, I was at a bar and started talking to a couple local Swedes. When we pieced together that I lived on the top floor of their office building, they both looked at me, then looked at each other, then literally fell on the floor laughing. When one of them could contain her laughter for long enough to string together a sentence, she blurted out, "People have been sending out office-wide emails about you. The naked guy on the 9th floor." It turned out that while my apartment had an unencumbered view of the Stockholm skyline, the lower floors of the building had a similarly unencumbered view of my undercarriage. Earlier in my life, I would have been mortified, ready to get back on a plane to the US, but in that moment, my reaction was one of nonchalance. Who cares what a bunch of Swedish strangers think, I asked myself. And I quickly realized how freeing it is to regularly ask myself, who cares what those people think, whether they are Swedish or not? On a related note, if any of you lived in Stockholm between January and November 2006, I sincerely apologize. The sooner you learn to act like no one is watching, the sooner you can be on a path to reach your own goals, not someone else's. Lao Tzu said it a bit more poetically: care what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. Both my parents are doctors. They're here today and can tell you how shocked they were when I told them I wasn't going to medical school after taking all my pre-med classes and the MCAT. I'm pretty sure they're still hoping I'll go back to med school one day. But that was their dream, not mine. Choose to do something that you are energized and curious about. Do something unconventional. Do something that scares your parents. Sorry, parents. And never worry about who is looking through the window. And when you do choose something that matters. Giving back and helping those in need has been a vital part of our work at Warby Parker. While we're a for-profit business, we've helped distribute over 13 million pairs of glasses to people in need. That's what keeps me and every person at the company going day after day. No matter where your journey takes you, do something that helps people and makes the world a healthier, happier place. Your time and attention is limited. Make it count. Class of 2023, congratulations. I'd wish you all the best of luck, but instead, I encourage you to go create it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dave, for sharing so many stories and lessons from your life. We wish you continued success in your own life journey. Now I'd like to recognize some remarkable members of the class of 2023. With us today are recipients of this year's departmental citations. These are awards that recognize the highest level of achievement in each major. Please stand as I introduce you and remain standing for a collective round of applause. Starting with Bayu Shi of Bioengineering. Ankit Rastogi from Civil and Environmental Engineering. Catherine Hu from Electrical Engineering and Computer Sciences. Anton Than could not be with us, but he represents engineering science. Next is Varsha Nikanti, Industrial Engineering and Operations Research. Ryan Shakiyu, Operations Research and Management Science. Ayush Gupta, Material Science and Engineering. Brian Yang from Mechanical Engineering. And Yuanxuan Li from Nuclear Engineering. Let's give them all a round of applause. Congratulations.
Commencement is a proud day for graduates and their families. It is also a proud moment for the University of California. The degrees conferred today attest to our students' high achievement and the fulfillment of the primary task of the university, which is to advance knowledge. Today's ceremony recognizes engineers who have earned a bachelor's degree. However, before we confer the degrees, I'd like to invite the candidates to express their appreciation to the family and friends who have supported them in their journey. Their emotional and financial support help make your education possible. To express your appreciation to your loved ones, please stand up now and give a cheer to all of your families and friends here with you today. All right. All right, please be seated. We know what a special day this is, and that many of you will be taking photographs. Please keep the aisles clear in consideration for those seated. It is now time to grant our bachelor's degrees and recognize our candidates by name. We are honored to have UC Berkeley's Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education and Professor of Mechanical Engineering, Oliver O'Reilly, here to confer the baccalaureate degrees.
Good afternoon. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Science degrees please rise? In my authority as Vice Provost for Undergraduate Education at the University of California, Berkeley, I grant you the degree of Bachelor of Arts or the degree Bachelor of Science. I now invite everyone to move the tassel on your cap from the right side of your cap to the left. This venerable tradition signifies your new status as a college graduate. Congratulations and go Bears.
Candidates will be presented to Dean Tsu-Jae King Liu by their respective department chairs. First, we begin with the candidates from our Department of Bioengineering.
Dean Liu, I'm very proud to present the most amazing, the most accomplished, the most Zoom proficient, and COVID resistant graduates in the history of the bioengineering department.
Adam Jacob Choice. Mazin Basil Camel. Esteban Flores.
Ege Uso.
Long Lei.
Hayden Young.
Reese Gerard.
Yu Jung Park. Maxine C. Chu. Pei Wen Xiao.
Ethan James Lee.
Sana Parija. Bai Yu Shi. Sharika Zuchi.
Kristen Locke.
Soham Mukherjee.
Shirley Zerong B. Vindhya Kilaru.
Pratush Saravanan.
Vivek Kamarshi.
Sankalp Sharma. Bernardus Edgar William. Howard Ying. Reet Mishra. Mrunali Rajesh Manjrekar.
John Guan.
Patrick Young.
Justin Delgado.
Joanna Elizabeth Vedish. Tyler DeYoung Vass.
Timur Bekjanov. Lucas Michael Kohler. Manasi Kumar. Iris Sue. Dexter Xiao Lai. Zaher Ahmed Chaudhry.
Nabil Subswari.
Owen Newton Doyle. Sydney Danielle Lamorty. Daria Haji Musa.
Khadija Yusuf. Ryan Prabawa. Su Ting Tung.
Valen Patricia Lee.
Jose Emilio Rodriguez. Renan Misha. Ryan Kia Shishigar. Sam Sabat. Maple Ning Chi Wong. Brian Zeron Wu. Yu Ching Wong. Divya Satish. Alex Senna.
Elijah Jude Velasco Ibrahim.
Trishli Nubla. Sana Narendra Singru.
Alvi Cam.
Carly Tran. Shalini Rama Namuduri.
Alexander Bolaños Campos. Miguel Ángel Flores Garcia.
Shotaro Yamaguchi.
Ángel Gamboa.
Aspen Sivinch. Milo Rhodes Scola.
Julia Monica Barilak.
Alberta Zagorov. Divya Darshini Sivanandan. Sarah Jade Smith. Roni Weissman. Shaunak Maruvada.
Arshia Bassi Deep. Abinaya and Buchelvin. Ruhika Lankalapali.
Sah-Hyun Park. Kyle Shun.
Janani Balaji. Hakop Artsvelian.
Nima Shirazian.
Tijan Isa Henderson Giro. Ayush Desai. David Dangond.
Jennifer Ruffing.
Lindsay Joyce Blameyer.
Natalie Slozar.
Rishabh Lanka.
Aditya Adu Subramanian.
Griffin Merrick Lawrence.
Jarek Thomas Marcinek.
Wu Di Fan. Maibayar Batulzi.
Fan Yun Suo.
Stephen Ree.
Leslie Pooh.
Kyung-min Kim.
Se-won Sun.
Dean Liu, it is my great pleasure and a distinct honor to be able to introduce the transformative, the world-changing, and the ready-for-anything graduates from the #1 Civil and Environmental Engineering Department in the world.
Ritvik Balla.
Leah Christine Maley. Avery Parks.
Paige Destiny Lyles.
Marissa Wade. Matthew James Tognolini. Zach Schubert. Emily Sanderfer. Ellie Sass.
Renee Reyes Francisco.
Jasmine Shello Ramos.
Melody Chen. Christina Yu Lang. Christian Joshua Lander.
Sebastian Sandoval.
Roberto Andrade Moreno.
Nick Sanoff Maneo. Morgan Isabella Wakefield. Joseph Carlo Rapella. Jason Park. Lourdes Tinoco Gonzalez.
Russo Dante Hernandez.
Camille Roberts. Momo Minamide. Mason Robert Thau. Oswaldo Pastor Howergy.
Nirav Ankem.
Nathan Edward McVeigh.
Paulo Barrero. Alex Leong.
Kevin McEntee.
Ryan Elizabeth Ivram. Jeanette Thelmley Gartner.
Isabella Carol Lynn Peter. Eric John Mahoney.
Ronen Lee.
Ryan Wolf. Kamer Turak.
Amjad Abukir.
Mohammed Ibrahim Zuela. Mohammed Soheb. Mohammed Mustafa Pasta.
Christine Chen. Juan Manuel Lozano Alegria. Garrett Davis.
Mark Allen Young.
Aboli Date. Brian Wayluen Cow.
Valeria Plasencia. Jorge Wu Lu. Jennifer Sachia Tarada.
Jacob Lyon. Max Bronstein. Justin Chan. Andrew Hao Lin Chen. Justin Lin.
Eric William Washburn.
Alejandra Amador Caro. Cassidy Fu De Hong Gilmore. Sarah F. Hewitt.
Maria Isabel Munoz. Alexander Rojas. Megan Moradpour. Jimena Caro. Julius Ryan Ramirez Sabugo.
Julio Ibanez.
Benjamin Vento.
Christopher Alvarez Morales.
Jesus Guillermo Valenzuela Esparza. Christian Omar Plasencia.
Eileen Figueroa Uribe.
Caitlin Nicole Theonis.
Yasamin Persia Haydary.
Staten Mon.
Andre Dominic Sanchez Blas. Roberto Carlos Flores Blancas. Yunwei Peter Hu.
Ankit Rastogi.
Andrew Guan Ham.
Daniel Anthony Ornelas.
Michaela Dawn Haas.
Hannah Emily Meredith. Kendall Tree Cow Thatch.
Il Jun Kim. Eduardo Lopez Garcia. Sunny Shu Yun Su. Thomas Tin Le. Naomi Nicole Fusen.
Charlotte Murad. Mengyuan Eileen Zhang.
Wen Yan Young. Phoebe Ziying Chen. Bai Lin Chen.
Wei Hao Zhu.
Yusin Hayden Huang. Michael G. Vanessa Lee. James Chungmin Lee. Jacqueline Sue Booth. Jacob Michael Hefty. Sophia Anne Marie Godinez.
Sa Young O.
Cindy Lily Lin. Wei Wei Kine. Anha T. Lei.
Sarah Osterberg.
Dean Liu, it's a great pleasure to present our wonderful graduates of the most awesome electrical engineering and computer science department in the world.
Tina Lee.
Daniel Jin Wan.
Richard Zuchuan Hu.
Noor Mahini. Hari Rajanya Valabaneni. Thomas Thurston.
Tucker Harvey. Derek Scott Brandon. Daniel Hector Guzman. Ayush Samir Dave.
Shivang Singh.
Jade Kane. Daniel Edrisian. Stephanie Kayla Jew.
Jennifer Prince. Jake Chae-hyun Sun. Shannon Erica Yang.
Jonathan Kim. Ryan Michael Huntley.
Tino Le Trengia.
Parker Y. Sang Lum. Justina Chen. Daniel Tae-hyun Kim.
Kaushik Purusha Thoman Prakash.
Rigoberto Gonzalez Serrano.
Irvin Alcantara Tansioko. Nisha Propakar. Rina Ruan.
Shafali Goyal. Susan Lin. Ryan Christopher Adolph. Jack Wyatt Jabeth. Areman Bhartia. Eden Bash. Keaton Elvins.
Jacob Michael Sutherland.
Sumant Guram.
William Shu. Preston Niayesh. Rohit Tanakela. Anish Muthali.
Rithvik Chapala.
Karthik Sridhar.
Chase Marcus Adams. Vivek Dutta.
Lauren Constance McBride.
Brian Wu Fan. James Young Lee.
Rohin Karanapani Thungirala.
Catherine Hu. Simon Z. Ray Guo. Christy Wei N. Ko.
Constance Shi. Zed Mamsa.
Bo Yuan Deng.
Andrew Enzu Zhang. Aaron Ravinsky. Emma Judith Stephen.
Chetan Khanna. Aditya Bawal.
Jaewook Rio.
Neil Mohan Kadalkar.
Tan Tai Tran.
David Weijia Lin. Jeffrey Chen. Minsu Kang. Hyo Won Jong. Kiran Ganeshan.
Shivam Singhal.
Yusuf Hilal. Nasser Saadat Faroki. Ryan Goro Kizior.
Sean Abdul Rove.
Kevin Chow. Will Lavanicol. Rishabh Krishnan.
Mokshith Vudarla.
Jason Zhang Dong. Tejveer Jogani.
Shilpa Sathyanathan.
Srinija Cherry Virala.
Raina Wong. Alicia Wang.
Joshua Aubin.
David Roger McAllister.
Shaylin Diaz.
Basil Sharma.
James Matthew Dye.
Robert Bisarov Peltikov.
Ava Victoria Joaquin. Amy Deng.
Miles Wada.
Christy Elisa Huang.
Jason Tao.
Thomas Kim. Arul Gupta. Brendan Daniel Cho. Claire Ganton. Aditi Bamba. Anthony Ebener.
Angel Prieto.
Adan Lopez Calderon. Ivan Lopez Rodriguez.
Akshay Ravur. Rithvik Panchapakasan. Shriram Sridhar. Amit Narang. Nishant Patwardhan. Hanlin Sun.
Trevor Kenji Baba.
Leila Zokidova.
Ian Isaiah Jaffe. Rishi Bhuvaneswara. Anirudh Ashish Alawani.
Ethan Fong Wu. Sarthik Madden.
Jasmine Bay.
Serena Saburi. Dahlia Saba. Alpin Yuxtaloglu. Ryan May.
Naveen Krishna Thiruvasula.
Pedro Pachuca. Kamyar John Salahi. William Chungpo Panich. Efsane Sawyer. Milena Matthew.
Anna Sismaru.
Jasmine Zhang. Shreya Shaker.
Edith L. Lontop. Alexia Juliana Camacho. Hamad Afzal. Divyashi Agraval.
Dylan Reimer.
Naz Kerala. Abhinob Alfred Bustoris. Steve Tsungwa Foryoung. Alfredo Chavez.
Teresa Tran.
Jaewon Lee.
Vishal Pulugurtha.
Nathaniel Nicholas Lum.
Avery Jordan Perez.
Alex Chuang.
Anjali Uptal Thakrar. Austin Patel.
Martin Hadi. Kayla Cranen.
Jeffrey Shen.
Ashley Chu.
Michael Xiangxi Ren. Mehul Raheja. Frederick Wong.
Andrew Lin. Bhavesh Sai Kalasetti.
Miguel Marie Amari Constantine Tenant de la Tour.
Adam Ashkenazi.
Edward Mirzoyan. Alexander Boya Minoru Jong. Anthony Villegas. Benedict Almanzor Taginad. Kevin Men. Alexander Yu.
Lucas Huang. Kelly Liu.
Isabel Leanne Ting. Ruchi Maheshwarya.
April Lee. Richard Augustus Erickson. Angelica Chi. Jason Chan.
Louis Matthew McConnell. Jeremy Tian. John Ian Reyes So.
Francis George Chalissery.
Vedant Mathur.
Asim Biswal.
Manan Saraswat. Lauren Marie Mard. Wanshika Sinha. Aditya Prasad. Eli Stewart. Sean Howard Zhao.
Maxwell Jet Lowe. Kyle Louie. Gilbert Ronghua Feng. Owen Bai. Brian Lin.
Tyler Kinoshita McNeary.
Kishore Kumar. Noah Jonas Bernstein.
Liam Webster.
Zhiying Kitty Gu.
Zoltan Takahiro Williamson. Hiva Mohammadzada. Manucha M. Winchell. Lucas Jonas Sosa. Ryan Dan No.
Tarun Amarnath. Jeffrey Ming-Jo Dang. Shivana Anand.
Alicia Michiko Matsumoto.
Divija Hustier. Aaron Z. Chen. Katan Gandhi. Amog Gupta.
Albert Maoshu Tien.
Arman Goyal.
Justin Kwan.
Guo Ning Su.
Ted Lin. Samuel Liu. Raymond Louis. Kasra Baheshti. Mark Nicholas Lindblad. Carl Chenxing Gan.
Richard Yen.
Osher Lerner.
Haotien David Shen.
Chet Bateja. Yu Tang Lee.
Timothy Recker.
Natalia Alm. Tasman Kwong.
Jim Wong. Andrew Zhang. Alan Sui Zhu. Christopher Pan.
Drake Lynn. Alec Lee James. Bryce Noel Kasahe. Elizabeth Herman. James Christian Gershbach.
Lauren Joe.
Mariam Osmandian. Sarah Elizabeth Fang.
Brandon Tran.
Anze Liu. Jamie Hong. Shrey Aaron. Tariq Omar Fawal.
Johnny Nguyen. Kao C2. Herbert Sardia Tompkins. Murdang Sheth. Ashwin Ramohan.
Pranab Krishnamurthy.
Sahil Mehta. Kishore Srinivas. Rupak Phatak. Virat Chandra.
Ishan J. Chabra. Sean R. Hayes.
Nilai Valinker.
Ruchir Baronia. Liam Altman Anthony.
Karina Hitesh Patel.
Gaurav Datta. Ashwath Chidambaram.
Srinivasan Madhavan. Sri Sai Nachuri.
Shreyash Sridhar Iyengar.
Rohit Mehta.
Ratan Jawahar Kalyani. Savane Chandrapatla.
Pranav Sukumar.
Raj Kirti Banushali.
Pranay Pradeep.
Sune Devol Dagli.
Nitish Sani.
Eric Roland Jung.
Anson Tiong. Alexander Patras.
Xing Cam.
Benjamin John Tate.
Kushal Mari Kangaunkar.
Aishwarya Sitharaman.
Deb Arun Bali.
Sheikh Mohammed Shamsuddin. Eric Yang. Yakir Nissim.
Ho U Lee.
Adam Rashid.
Ryan Nui Huang. Nicola Eichenberger.
Anusha Subramanian. Anya Srivastava.
Zachariah Ben Harshash. Fahed Ahmed Altuker.
Tanai Papa Evgeniu.
Kyriaki Frangias.
Nazla Dennis Janle. Ashley Katie Malloy.
Yuthan Chi. Raghav Gupta.
Jennifer Siwan Jo.
Taewon Kim.
Jenny Shiube May. Adit Roy Chowdhury.
Hyunuk Jung. Wei Shan Shu. Samantha Lee. Claire Yuan Lin.
Tan Truk Vu. Ryan Wang.
Jay Lee. Varun Agrawal.
Sina Mashfegi.
Saisaran Kidambi.
Pranav Pamalapali. Devan Shiva Shankar. Abhi Upadhyay. Brian Chu.
Abdelrahman Usama Hassan. Brendan Hogue. Rodrigo Enrique Aguilar Barrios.
Taras Priyatka. Valery Rotan. Chi Yuan Wong. Ayush Suteria. Martin Zheng. Andrew Albert Wong. Owen Jonathan Tanawajaya. Kenny Robert. Russell Sophia. Serena Zong. Tu Nak Ching. Vinayaka Srinivas.
Pierre Lay.
Afis Tiamiu.
Javon Carlton Jackson.
Alvaro Giovanni Morales.
Colby Chang.
Jet Situ. Aaron Zhao.
Krishna Bhattaram.
Megan Zhang.
Praneeth Varma Khanna.
Ashwin Karthik Ramasbabu.
Divyam Goyal.
Daniel Zoe.
Sebastian Echeverria.
Hai Bin Yu. Diraj Fajali.
Vincent Hong Lee.
Hector Ramos Gonzalez.
Jeffrey Fan.
Qingzi Wu.
Davian Ho. Jacob Borges. Yongxi Liu. Jin Sung He.
Ray Shi. Yi Sang So. David S. Zhu.
James Carver Weaver Holcomb.
Aaron Zev Soul.
Nicholas Lin. Rushnan Tashnuva Alam. Anisa Ibnat.
Samin Siem. Siddhant Sharma.
Samia Mayrin.
Good afternoon. Dean Liu, I present to you the students who are unafraid to take risks, unafraid to zig when others zag, unafraid to innovate at the boundaries where we need solutions to society's problems. I present to you the Bachelor of Science degree candidates from the Department of Engineering Science, including the majors of Energy Engineering, Engineering Mathematics and Statistics, Engineering Physics, and Environmental Engineering Sciences.
Dana Sanchez Ortega.
Julian Lichtenfeld. Myla Lane Khan. Alessia Kelsey Levante.
Galen Penven.
Sophie Grace Falero. Tommy Hosmer. Mirelis Paola Carcaña Barbosa.
Miguel Antonio Montalvo Hernandez.
Zachary Joseph Hall.
Owen Martin Zudima. Tage Rio Sate.
Matthew Dull. Xiangyi Lin.
Samyukta Srivastava. Hongyi Zhao. Yulitsi Vizcara. Whitley Breeze Dunn Rummel.
Ryota Inagaki.
Anna Recht. Soham Devon Shah.
Michael Karish.
Tomoyuki Yoshino. Michael Salvatore Mangiamelli. Jessica Evelyn Powell. Philip Robert Martin.
Aiden Thomas Kim.
Ryan Zhao. Anthony Shafiq.
Ali Al Moment.
Dean Liu, I'm delighted to present the amazing candidates for Bachelor of Science degree in Industrial Engineering and Operations Research and Bachelor's of Arts degree in Operations Research and Management Science.
L. Tran.
Rudolph Kyung-jae Lee.
Vasanth Madhavan. Sean Sheth. Ashnavalia.
Arnav Gupta.
Aishwarya Mahesh.
Ryan Yusho Horn.
Sarah Parks.
James Aiden Stassen Bartman. Massimiliano Peter Lucas.
Albert Wen. Kenneth Wong.
Jane Elizabeth Lowe.
Maya Sprouse. Emmy Spiro.
Bailey Kirkaby. Duncan Christopher Barcelona.
Pranav Viswanathan. Kellen Taylor Rice. Shireen Waklu. Eva Rudayev. Priya Sriram. Samantha Tito. Varsha Nakanti. Rami Najjar.
Kiana Kamne. Ananya Gupta.
Sean Michael Slavich.
Alessandro Itzhak Eshua Blanco.
Arjun Vats.
Abhigyan Biswas. Charles Luo.
Casey Midori Noguchi. Ian Tai.
Muhammad Erlanga Arafanto. Taras Vasilyevich Goral. Maggie Blundy. Hassan Bachiban. Begum Doan. Shinpei Cho. Justin Lin.
Ho Ting Jesse Yuan.
Andrew Au.
Ayush Nigade. Emily Sue. Robert Christian Matu. Ryan Kalani Shakia.
Felix Lin.
Dean Liu, I am proudly presenting the Bachelor of Science degree candidates in our top-ranked Department of Material Science and Engineering.
Aniruddha Prashant Kanewale. Ayush Sagar Gupta.
Rushab Sailendra Shah.
Walker Evan Browning. Samantha Jung Si Kwan. Alex Andres Anaya.
Derek Y. Lee Sang.
Jared K. Chang. Maximilian B. Hum. Isabella Crouch. Emuel Marie Ermita Ihanda. Aishwarya Jayadeep.
Corey Hunter Williams. Muhammad Farhan Putra. Junhee Park.
Daniel Hunter Hawthorne. Jia Le Han. Nora Naji Eldasri.
Isaac Shu.
Phoebe Jacqueline Chang. Monk Heels Devassaran.
Eamon Malcolm Smith. Richard Xiaoming Ma. Hashim Ahmed Paracha.
Dean Liu, I am honored to present to you the graduates from the Department of Mechanical Engineering.
Todd Albert Russell. Yenvi Nguyen. Chris Shia. Nana Porter Haneke.
Sonia Goralnik. Landon Ross Knip. Ziad El Homeda. Abdullah Ali El Hamoud.
Masayuki Ohashi.
Sarah Kung. Magnus Gu. Andrew Fan.
Cassidy Powers.
Colin Leung.
Luke Flynn Seibold.
Cameron Cheney.
Tristan Anthony Villanueva.
Brandon Jimenez. Emily Ann Blum. Yara Salah Fateh.
Zivan Posner.
Aiden Peter Gosser Brennan.
Jake T. Winery.
Jackson Wilder Buchanan.
Casey James Wilson.
Sydney Chan. Hannah Rose Dom.
Chinadu Mitchell Nadozi.
Blaze Haas.
Ferris Nabali Richardson.
Kaylani Hansen Adachi. Connor Shea Hennig.
Ni Fan. Wayne Toe. Romy Love Bobadilla Masto.
Leica Reddy Duvori.
Brian Guan Yang. Anthony Lynn Moody.
Ha Rin Jiang.
Franklin Olinger.
Constance Ariana Angelopoulos. Laura Hawatmeh. Allison Doyle. Ethan Lane.
Kaylee Reardon. Andrew Raphael Petrak.
Ricky Hahn. Nicholas Injo. Yu Hang Cheng.
Lu Zhang. Hautian Skylar Zhang.
Xavier Barnaclough.
Wei Tun Nang.
Tyler Adkisson. Vincent Christopher Jin. Vin Din. Sheikh Salman Fordaus.
Chulu Farokipana. Farouk Mustafa.
Bilal Ayman Asied. Musael Gebramariam. Ishan Singh Isar. Guanhua Fu. Xiangyu Hong. Chang Bo.
Rahul Manesh Van Mali. David Matthews. Sam Phillips. Prenit Monod.
Gregory Daly Dockler. Elizabeth Gamarello.
Claudia Agueda Renero Lopez. Kit Michael Naughton. Sean Blake Tootin.
Janik De Silva. Abhishek Brindaban.
Mateo Pena. Manraj Gill. James Blake Welly.
Ben Lake.
Anjana Saravanan. Varun Subramanian Rao. Daniel Weihan Wong. Karen Nakamura.
Alexa Lauren Habakan. Anne Pham Lay. Marco Davis Abiati.
Ingrid Shawn. Akash Ramachandran. Calvin Matthew Stevens.
Abik Dutta. Lucas Garcia Cornejo. Joseph Brauneisen.
Noah Shermish. Samuel Thompson. Johann Maximilian Rees.
Josh Jose Cavalavitil. Will Lee.
Timon Hans Rita Herman Sepp. Gavin Andrew May. Christian Cavanisperos. James Young Seung.
Angelo Gabriel Galliardo Braganza. Michael Derek Celebrado. Jason R. Duckering.
Adam Ward Stewart. Alex Robert Top. Ben Shoemaker. Song Ho Yang. Rishi Raj Wadgaonkar.
Naisha Gandotra. Trevor James Amarant.
Yusaku Nakano. Kevin O. Kenneth Song. Weston White. Benjamin Gregory Toth. Anthony Zoe. Annika Yang. Andrew H. Wong.
Pranav Kalra.
Siakhu Kai Yoon.
Benjamin Carney. Jessica Hope Lee. Julie Huang. Elaine Del Rosario Lacuna. Massimiliano De Sa.
Han Huang Nguyen. Eliana Michaela Peng.
Sean Lin. Mason Seaton Freeney. Aaron Yang Fu. Jason Cow. Ethan Ji Hyung Lee.
Anthony Zong. Dylan Potter.
Frank Aaron Aliaga Auki.
Stanley Jeffrey Wong. Jesse Medina. Karina Romero.
Gabriela Gutierrez. Zachary Douglas. Anthony Cortez. Alexander Castillo. Luis Flores. Martin Bashara. Oscar Cho.
Geno Angelo Laksamana Pangan.
Felicia Elise Jacobus. Ariana Dominic. Maurice Awad. Megan Flora Chan.
Sitara Swaroop.
Dean Liu. Last but not least, I have the privilege of presenting the Bachelor of Science degree candidates from Berkeley's red-hot Department of Nuclear Engineering.
Matthew Uriah Torres Sahim. Chanel Zaid. Alessandra Tataro Villar. Addie Middle.
Jake Gutterman.
Marley Ottman.
Hyun-Shik Kim. Rob Edward Angelo Atienza. Patrick Nantapet Andrade. Joe Henderson. Gabriel M. Holsinger.
Alicia Pang.
Ashley Nicole Lee.
Spiro Malad Tanus.
Tyler Scott Johnson. Yoon Xuan Lee.
Ronald J. R.J. Skosipic.
Thank you and congratulations to our entire class of 2023 bachelor's degree recipients. You are now and forever will be Berkeley engineers, graduates of the finest public university in the nation and one of the top engineering colleges in the entire world. Be proud, you did it. We hope you remember these years at Berkeley with fondness, the joyful times and the challenging ones. Stay in touch with each other, with us through the contacts noted in your program. We are your family. We hope you will come back to share your experiences and impart your knowledge and wisdom to those students who follow you. This concludes our commencement ceremony. Best wishes to you and go Bears!